opera world is proud to present the only complete series of Gilbert and Sullivan operas on video. HMS Pinafore, The Mikado, The Pirates of Penzance, Patience, The Gondoliers, Iolanthe, The Yeoman of the Guard, Ruddigore, Princess Ida, The Sorcerer, Trial by Jury, and Cox and Box. For more information, please call us at 800-99-OPERA. And now, to introduce the opera you're about to see, here is Douglas Fairbanks, Jr.
Hello. You know, 100 years ago, the British Empire was at the very height of glory. Queen Victoria had recently become Empress of India, and the British soldier, the redcoat, was respected all over the world. In Great Britain, it was quite a proud thing indeed to be an officer and a gentleman. Now, look at this fine officer in the Dragoons. A handsome fellow, and surely one who will have no difficulty in attracting the ladies. Or will he? Well, now that's the problem which provides so much fun in Gilbert and Sullivan's comic opera, Patience. For suddenly, the England of the 1880s, in that particular world of art and literature, fashion and manners, was swept by a new craze, the cult of the aesthetic. Now, what was it all about? Well, here is one of its most famous exponents, Oscar Wilde, poet and playwright. Observe his affected posture, his air of soulfulness, and the sunflower he fondles so elegantly. Amazingly, the man who designed the costumes for the original production of Patience was none other than Gilbert himself, who was a talented artist on the side. He chose the fabrics from the world-famous fashion house of Liberty in London's Regent Street, which was right up to date with the new designs. Patience opened at the Opera Comique Theatre just off the Strand in London on April 23rd, 1881. Sullivan himself conducted. It was so successful that its producer, Richard Doyley-Cart, chose to transfer it for the opening of his newly built Savoy Theatre. There was special excitement on this occasion, for the auditorium was lit by the wonderful new electric light. And before many weeks had passed, electric stage lighting had been installed also. The days of the old gas light had gone forever.
love will die. A misery. Yet my love lives, although no hope have I. A misery. Alas, poor heart, go hide thyself away to weeping concord, tune thy roundy lay. Misery. Oh, the love is all for one, yet that love he heedeth not. He is coy and cares for none, sad and sorry is our lot. A misery. Breaking a heart, a good dream of love requited, go foolish heart, go dream of lovers plighted, go madcap heart, go dream of him awaking, and in my dream forget that thou art breaking. A misery. Forget that thou art breaking. 20 lovesick maidens weeping, lovesick all against our will. 20 years hence we shall be 20 lovesick maidens still. A misery. There is a strange magic in this love of ours, rivals as we all are in the affections of our Reginald. The very hopelessness of our love is a bond that binds us to one another. Jealousy is merged in misery, while he, the very cynosure of our eyes and hearts, remains icy and sensible. What have we to strive for?
The love of maidens is to him as interesting as the taxes.
Would that it were! He pays his taxes and cherishes the receipts. Happy receipts. Fools. I beg your pardon. Fools and blind. The man loves, wildly loves. But who? None of us? No, none of us. His weird fancy has lighted for the nonce on Patience, the village milkmaid. On Patience? Oh, it cannot be. Bah! But yesterday I caught him in her dairy, eating fresh butter with a tablespoon. Today he is not well. But Patience boasts that she has never loved, that love is to her a sealed book. Oh, he cannot be serious. 'Tis but a passing fancy. 'Twill quickly wear away. Oh, Reginald, if you but knew what a wealth of golden love is waiting for you, stored up in this rugged old bosom of mine. The milkmaid's triumph would be short indeed. Still brooding on thy mad infatuation, I thank thee, love, thou comest not to me. Far happier I, free from thy ministration, than dukes or duchesses who love can be. 'Tis Patience, and
cometh to all, but not to me. It cannot be kind as they'd imply. Oh, why do these ladies sigh? It cannot be joy and rapture deep. Oh, why do these gentle ladies weep? It cannot be blissful, as 'tis said. Oh, why are their eyes so wondrous red? For everywhere true love I see, a coming to all, but not to me. I cannot tell what this love may be. For there of life and there of gay, while there is sighing night and day. For there is life and she is gay. Think of the God twixt them and me. Think of the God twixt them and me. Who foolishly hog and foster it. If love is a weed, how simple they who gather it day by day. If love is a nettle that makes you smart, then why do you wear it next your heart? And if it be none of these, say I, oh, why do you sit and sob and sigh? For everywhere true love I see, coming to all, but not to me. I cannot tell what this love may be. For there am life and there am gay, while there is it sighing night and day. For she is light and she is gay. Think of the God twixt them. She is light and gay. Think of the God twixt them. She is light and gay. La 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 la.
If you have never loved, you have never known true happiness.
But the truly happy always seem to have so much on their minds. The truly happy never seem quite well.
There is a transcendentality of delirium, an acute accentuation of supremest ecstasy, which the earthy might easily mistake for indigestion. But it is not indigestion. It is aesthetic transfiguration. Enough of babble. Come.
But stay! I have some news for you. The 35th Dragoon Guards have halted in the village and are even now on their way to this very spot.
The 35th Dragoon Guards? They are fleshly men of full habit.
We care nothing for Dragoon Guards.
But bless me, you were all engaged to them a year ago.
A year ago? My poor child, you don't understand these things. A year ago they were very well in our eyes. But since then our tastes have been etherealized, our perceptions exalted. But come, it is time to lift up our voices in morning carol to our Reginald. Let us to his presence.
20 lovesick maidens weep, lovesick all against our will. 20 years hence we shall meet, 20 lovesick maidens still. Oh, misery.
on, Major. If you want a receipt for that popular mystery known to the world as the Heaven to Go, take all the remarkable people in history, rattle them off to a popular tune. The pluck of Lord Nelson aboard of the Victory, genius of Bismarck devising a plan, the humor of fielding with sounds contradictory, cool as a pageant about to Japan. The science of Julian, the eminent musico, wit of Macaulay who wrote to Queen Anne, the pathos of Claudius, rendered by Musico, style of a bishop of Soda a man, the dash of a Dorsey, divested of quackery, narrative powers, the Dickens and Thackeray, Victor Emmanuel, Piquant and Devereux, Thomas Aquinas, and Dr. Sacheverell, Tupper and Tennyson, Daniel Defoe, Anthony Trollope, and Mr. Griswold. Take up these elements, all that is suitable, let them run down in the pit in the 7 to 7, and take up the scum, and the heavy dragoon is a residuum. If you want a receipt for this soldier like Paddington, get it the wealth of the Tsar if you can. The family pride of a Spaniard from Aragon, forced of Mephisto pronouncing a ban. A smack of Lord Waterford, reckless and rollicky, swagger of Roderick heading his can. The keen penetration of Paddington Pollocky, grace of an odalisque, honor the man. The genius strategic of Caesar or Hannibal, skill of Saganity, thrashing a cannibal, flavor of Hamlet, the stranger a touch of him, little of man, but not very much of him. Beadle of Burlington, Richardson Joe, Mr. McCormick and Madame Tussauds. Take up these elements, all that is usable. Let them all down in the pit of crucible. Send them to simmer and take up the scum. And the heavy dragoon is a residuum. Thank you, Major. Well, here we are once more on the scene of our former triumphs. But where's the Duke?
Here I am.
Oh, come, cheer up, don't give way.
Over that. I'm as cheerful as a poor devil can be expected to be, who has the misfortune to be a duke with 1,000 a day.
Most men would envy you.
Envy me? Tell me, Major, are you fond of toffee?
Oh, very. We are all fond of toffee.
We are!
Carry on, Major. Thank you, sir.
Yes, and toffee in moderation is a capital thing. But to live on toffee, toffee for breakfast, toffee for dinner, toffee for tea, to have it supposed that you care for nothing but toffee, and will consider yourself insulted if anything but toffee offered to you, how would you like that?
Well, I can quite believe that under those circumstances, even toffee would become monotonous.
For toffee, read flattery, adulation, and abject deference, carried to such a pitch that I began at last to think that man was born bent at an angle of 45 degrees. Great heavens, what is there to adulate in me? Am I particularly intelligent?
No.
Or remarkably studious?
No.
Or excruciatingly witty?
No.
Or unusually accomplished?
No.
Or exceptionally virtuous?
You're about as commonplace a young man as ever I saw.
You are! Exactly, that's it exactly. That describes me to a T. Thank you all very much. Well, I couldn't stand it any longer, so I joined this second-class cavalry regiment. In the army, thought I shall be occasionally snubbed, perhaps even bullied, who knows? The thought was rapture, and here I am.
Yes. But where are the ladies?
We love
not this ridiculous, and is not this preposterous? A thorough-paced absurdity, explain it if you can. Instead of rushing eagerly to cherish us and foster us, they all prefer this melancholy literary man. Instead of slyly peering at us, clasping books and peering at us, blushing at us, blushing at us, flirting with a fan, and actually sneering at us, staring at us, jeering at us, pretty sort of treatment for a military man. They're actually sneering at us, staring at us, jeering at us, pretty sort of treatment for a military man.
Mystic poet, hear a prayer. 20 lovesick maidens weep, young and wealthy, dark and fair, all of county family. And we die for love of thee. 20 lovesick maidens weep.
Yes, we die for love of thee. 20 lovesick maidens weep.
Though my book I seem to scan in a rapt, ecstatic way, like a literary man who despises female play, I hear plainly all they say. 20 lovesick maidens they. He hears plainly all they say. 20 lovesick maidens they.
Oh, so excellently wise, for a moment mortal be. Deign to raise thy purple eyes from thy hard-drawn poesy. 20 lovesick maidens see, each is kneeling on her knee.
20 lovesick maidens see, each is kneeling on her knee.
Though, as I remarked before, anyone convinced would be that some transcendental law is monopolizing me. Round the corner I can see each is kneeling on her knee.
Round the corner he can see each is kneeling on her knee. Now is not this ridiculous, and is not this preposterous? A thorough-paced absurdity, ridiculous, preposterous. Explain it if you can. Now is not this ridiculous, and is not this preposterous? A thorough-paced absurdity, explain it if you can. Instead of rushing eagerly to cherish us and foster us, they all prefer this melancholy literary man. Instead of slightly peering at us, laughing us and peering at us, flashing at us, blushing at us, flirting with a fan, and actually sneering at us, staring at us, jeering at us, pretty sort of treatment for a military man. And actually sneering at us, staring at us, jeering at us, pretty sort of treatment for a military man.
The meaning of this?
Oh, sir, leave us. Our minds are but ill-tuned to light love talk.
But what in the world has come over you all?
Bunthorne, he has come over us. He has come among us, and he has idealized us.
Well, has he succeeded in idealizing you?
He has.
Oh, good old Bunthorne.
My eyes are open. I droop despairingly. I am soulfully intense. I am limp, and I cling.
Finish. At last. Finish. Are you better now?
Yes. Oh, it's you. Yes, I am better now. The poem is finished, and my soul has gone out into it. That was all. It was nothing worth mentioning. It occurs 3 times a day. Ah, patience, dear patience.
Will it please you read to us, sir? This we supplicate.
Shall I?
No!
I will read it if you bid me.
You can if you like.
It is a wild, weird, fleshly thing, yet very tender, very yearning, very precious. It is called, Oh, Hollow, Hollow, Hollow.
Is it a hunting song?
No, it is not a hunting song. It is the wail of a poet's heart on discovering that everything is commonplace. To understand it, cling passionately to one another and think of faint lilies. That's right. Oh, hollow, hollow, hollow. What time the poet hath hymned, the writhing maid, lithe-limbed, quivering on amaranthine asphodel. How can he paint her woes, knowing as well he knows that all can be set right with calomel? When from the poet's plinth the amorous colocynth yearns for the aloe, faint with rapturous thrills, how can he hymn their throes, knowing as well he knows that they're only uncompounded pills? Is it, and can it be, nature hath this decree? Nothing poetic in the world shall dwell, or that in all her works something poetic lurks, even in colocynth and calomel? I cannot tell.
How purely fragrant. How earnestly precious.
Well, it seems to me to be nonsense.
Nonsense. Yes, perhaps. But oh, what precious nonsense.
Well, this is all very well, but you seem to forget that you are engaged to us.
It can never be. You are not Empyrean. You are not Delacruscan. You are not even early English. Oh, be early English ere it is too late.
Yes.
Red and yellow. Primary colours. Ugh, South Kensington.
We didn't design our uniforms. We don't see how they could be improved.
No, you wouldn't. Still, there is a cobwebby grey velvet with a tender bloom like cold gravy, which, made Florentine 14th century, trimmed with Venetian leather and Spanish altar lace, and surmounted with something Japanese. It matters not what, would at least be early English. Come, maidens.
20 lovesick maidens we, lovesick all against our will. 20 years hence we shall be, 20 lovesick maidens still. Oh,
Gentlemen, this is an insult to the British uniform.
A uniform that has been as successful in the courts of Venus as on the field of Mars. When I first put this uniform on, I said as I looked in the glass, it's 1 to 1,000,000 that any civilian my figure and form will surpass. Gold lace has a charm for the fair, and I've plenty of that and to spare. While the lovers professors were uttered and Hessian, the eloquent everywhere. A fact that I counted upon when I first put this uniform on.
By a simple coincidence you could never have counted upon. The same thing occurred to me when I first put this uniform on.
I I said when I first put it on, it is plain to the veriest dunce that every beauty will feel it her duty to yield to its glamour at once. They will see that I'm freely gold-laced, in a uniform handsome and chaste, but the pair of pathetic and long-haired ascetics are very much more to their taste, which I never counted upon when I first put this uniform on.
On a simple coincidence you could never have counted upon. I didn't anticipate that when I first put this uniform on.
Am I alone and unobserved? I am. Then let me own I'm an aesthetic sham. This air severe is but a mere veneer. This cynic smile is but a while of guile. This costume chaste is but good taste misplaced. Let me confess, a languid love for lilies does not blight me. Lank limbs and haggard cheeks do not delight me. I do not care for dirty greens by any means. I do not long for all one sees that's Japanese. I am not fond of uttering platitudes in stained glass attitudes. In short, my medievalism's affectation, born of a morbid love of admiration. If you're anxious for to shine in the high aesthetic line as a man of culture rare, you must get up all the germs of the transcendental terms and plant them everywhere. You must lie upon the daisies and discourse in novel phrases of your complicated state of mind. The meaning doesn't matter if it's only idle chatter of a transcendental kind. And everyone will say, as you walk your mystic way, if this young man expresses himself in terms too deep for me, why, what a very singularly deep young man this deep young man must be. Be eloquent in praise of the very dull old days which have long since passed away, and convince them if you can that the reign of good Queen Anne was culture's palmiest day. Of course you will pooh-pooh whatever's fresh and new and declare it's crude and mean, for art stopped short in the cultivated court of the Empress Josephine. And everyone will say, as you walk your mystic way, if that's not good enough for him, which is good enough for me, why, what a very cultivated kind of youth this kind of youth must be. Then the sentimental passion of a vegetable fashion must excite your languid spleen. An attachment on a Plato for a bashful young potato or a not too French bean. Though the Philistines may jostle, you may rank as an apostle in the high aesthetic band. If you walk Piccadilly with a poppy or a lily in your medieval hand. And everyone will say, as you walk your flowery way, if he's content with a vegetable love, which would certainly not suit me, why, what a most particularly pure young man this pure young man must be. Patience! I am pleased with thee. The bitter-hearted one who finds all else hollow is pleased with thee, for you're not hollow, are you?
Oh, no thanks. I have dined. But I beg your pardon. I interrupted you just now.
Oh, life is made up of interruptions. The tortured soul yearning for solitude writhes under them. Oh, but my heart is a-weary. Oh, I am a cursed thing. Don't go.
Really, I'm very sorry.
Tell me, girl, do you ever yearn?
I earn my living.
Oh, no, no. Do you know what it is to be heart-hungry? Do you know what it is to yearn for the indefinable, and yet to be brought face to face daily with the multiplication table? Hmm? Do you know what it is to seek oceans and find puddles, to long for whirlwinds and have to do the best you can with the bellows? That's my case. Oh, I am a cursed thing. Don't go.
If you please, I don't understand you. You frighten me.
Oh, don't be frightened. It's only poetry.
Well, if that's poetry, I don't like poetry.
Don't you? Can I trust her? Patience, you don't like poetry? Oh. Well, between you and me, I don't like poetry. It's hollow, unsubstantial, unsatisfactory. Well, what's the use of yearning for Elysian fields when you know you can't get them? And would only let them out on building leases if you had them.
Sir,
Patience. I have long loved you. Let me tell you a secret. I'm not as bilious as I look. If you like, I will cut my hair. There is more innocent fun within me than the casual spectator would imagine. You have never seen me frolicsome. Well, be a good girl, a very good girl, and someday you shall. If you're fond of touch-and-go jocularity, this is the shop for it.
sir, I will speak plainly. In the matter of love, I am untaught. I have never loved but my great aunt. But I'm quite certain that under any circumstances, I couldn't possibly love you.
Oh, you think not?
I'm quite sure of it. Quite sure. Quite.
Very good. Life is henceforth a blank. I don't care what becomes of me. Although you despise me, I'm extremely popular with the other young ladies. I only ask that you will not abuse my confidence.
And I only ask that you will leave me alone and never renew the subject.
Certainly. Broken-hearted and desolate I go. Oh, to be wafted away from this black Akeldama of sorrow, where the dust of an earthy today is the earth of a dusty tomorrow. It's a little thing of my own. I call it heart foam. I shall not publish it.
What on earth does it all mean? Why does he love me? Why does he expect me to love him? He's not a relation. It frightens me.
Why, Patience, what is the matter?
Oh, Lady Angela, tell me two things. Firstly, what on earth is this love that upsets everybody? And secondly, how is it to be distinguished from insanity?
Poor blind child. Oh, forgive her, Eros. Why, love is of all passions the most essential. It is the embodiment of purity, the abstraction of refinement. It is the one unselfish emotion in this whirlpool of grasping greed. Why are you crying?
To think that I have lived all these years without having experienced this ennobling and unselfish passion. Why, what a wicked girl I must be. For it is unselfish, isn't it?
Absolutely. Love that is tainted with selfishness is no love. Oh, try to love. It really isn't difficult if you give your whole mind to it.
I'll set about it at once. I won't go to bed until I'm in love with somebody.
Noble girl. But is it possible that you've never loved anybody?
Yes, once.
Ah, whom?
My great-aunt.
Great aunts don't count.
Then there's nobody. At least. No, nobody. Not since I was a baby. But that doesn't count either, I suppose.
I don't know. Tell me all about it.
Long years ago, 14 maybe, when but a tiny babe of 4, another baby played with me, my elder by a year or more. A little child of beauty rare with marvelous eyes and wondrous hair. Oh, in my child I seem to me all that a little child should be. Ah, how we loved that child and I, how pure a baby joy, how true our love, and by the by, he was a little boy.
Old, old tale of Cupid's touch. I thought as much. He was a little boy.
Pray don't misconstrue what I say. Remember, pray, he was a little boy.
No doubt, in spite of all your pains, the interesting fact remains, he was a little boy. No doubt, in spite of all my pains, the interesting fact remains, he was a little boy. He was a little boy.
It's perfectly dreadful to think of the appalling state I must be in. I had no idea that love was a duty. No wonder they all look so unhappy. Upon my word, I hardly like to associate with myself. I don't think I'm respectable. I'll go at once and fall in love with a stranger.
Pretty, pretty maiden, prithee tell me true. Hey, but I'm doleful, willow, willow, waily. Have you e'er a lover dangling after you? Hey, willow, waily, oh. I would fain discover if you have a lover. Hey, willow, waily, oh.
Gentle sir, my heart is frolicsome and free. Hey, but he's doleful, willow, willow, waily. Nobody I care for comes a-courting me. Hey, willow, waily, oh. Nobody I care for comes a-courting. Therefore, hey, willow, waily, oh.
Pretty, pretty maiden, will you marry me? Hey, but I'm hopeful, willow, willow, waily. I may say at once I'm a man of property. Hey, willow, waily, oh. Money, I despise it, many people prize it. Hey, willow, waily, oh.
Gentle sir, although to marry I design, hey, but he's hopeful, willow, willow, waily. As yet I do not know you, and so I must decline. Hey, willow, waily, oh. To other maidens go you, as yet I do not know you. Hey, willow, waily,
Patience. Can it be that you don't recognize me?
Recognize you? No, indeed I don't.
Have 15 years so greatly changed me?
15 years? What do you mean?
Have you forgotten the friend of your youth? Your little playfellow? Your Archibald?
Archibald? Is it possible? Let me look. It is. It is? It must be! Oh, how happy I am, for I thought we should never meet again. And how you've grown.
Yes, Patience. I am much taller and much stronger than I was.
And how you've improved.
Yes, Patience. I am very beautiful.
But surely that doesn't make you unhappy.
Yes, Patience. Gifted as I am with a beauty which probably has not its rival on earth, I am nevertheless utterly miserable.
Oh, but why?
My child's love for you has never faded. Conceive then the horror of my situation when I tell you that it is my hideous destiny to be madly loved at first sight by every woman I come across.
Well, why do you make yourself so picturesque? Why not disguise yourself, disfigure yourself, anything to escape this persecution?
No, Patience. That may not be. These gifts, irksome as they are, were given to me for the delectation of my fellow creatures. I am a trustee for beauty, and it is my duty to see that conditions of my trust are faithfully discharged.
And you too are a poet.
Yes, I am the apostle of simplicity. I am called Archibald the All-Right, for I am infallible.
And is it possible that you condescend to love such a girl as I?
Yes, Patience. Is it not strange? I have loved you with a Florentine 14th century frenzy for full 15 years.
Oh, marvellous. I have hitherto been deaf to the voice of love. I seem now to know what love is. It has been revealed to me. It is Archibald Grosvenor.
Yes, Patience, it is.
Oh, we will never, never part.
We will live and die together.
I swear it.
We both swear it.
But oh, horror.
What's the matter?
Why? You are perfection, a source of endless ecstasy to all who know you.
I know I am. Well?
Well, bless my heart. There can be nothing unselfish in loving you.
Merciful powers, I never thought of that. Oh, fatal perfection. Again you interpose between me and my happiness.
Oh, if you were but a thought less beautiful than you are.
Would that I were, but candor compels me to admit that I'm not.
Our duty is clear. We must part, and forever.
Oh, misery. And yet I cannot question the propriety of your decision. Farewell, Patience.
Farewell, Archibald. But stay!
Yes, Patience.
Although I may not love you, for you are perfection, there is nothing to prevent your loving me. I'm plain, homely, unattractive.
Why, that's true.
The love of such a man as you, for such a girl as I, must be unselfish.
Unselfishness itself.
Though to marry you would very selfish be.
Hey, but I'm dull. Willow, willow, way.
You may all the same continue loving me.
Hey, willow, way. All the world ignoring, I go on adoring. Hey, willow, way.
they array you. O poet, how say you, what is it you have done? Now tell us, we pray you, why thus they array you. O poet, how say you, what is it you've done? O poet, how say you, what is it you've done?
Of right sacrificial by sentence judicial, this seems the initial, then why don't you want? They cannot have led you to hang or behead you, nor may they all wed you, unfortunate one.
Then tell us, we pray you, why thus they array you. O poet, how say you, what is it you've done?
Heartbroken at my patience's barbarity, by the advice of my solicitor, in aid of a deserving charity, I put myself up to be raffled for.
By the advice of his solicitor, he's put himself up to be raffled for.
O horror, urged by his solicitor, he's put himself up to be raffled for.
Oh, heaven's blessing on his solicitor.
A hideous curse on his solicitor.
Oh, heaven's blessing on his solicitor.
A hideous curse on his solicitor.
A blessing
A curse,
on his
a curse on his solicitor.
Stay, we implore you, before the hopes are blighted. You see before you the men to whom you're plighted.
Stay, implore you, for we adore you. To us you're plighted, to be united. Stay, we implore you.
Your maiden hearts are do not steal to pity's eloquent appeal. Such conduct witty soldiers feel. Sigh, sigh, oh sigh. To foeman's steel we rarely see a witty soldier bend the knee, yet one and all they kneel to ye. Kneel, kneel, oh kneel. Our soldiers very seldom cry, and yet I need not tell you why. A teardrop gills each martial eye. Weep, weep, all weep.
soldiers very seldom cry, and yet they need not tell us why.
A teardrop gills each martial eye. Weep, weep, all
Come, walk up and purchase with avidity. Overcome your diffidence and natural timidity. Tickets for the raffle should be purchased with avidity. Put in half a guinea and a husband you may gain. He's such a judge of blue and white and other kinds of pottery. From early oriental down to modern derogatory. Put in half a guinea, you may draw him in a lottery. Such an opportunity may not occur again.
Such a judge of blue and white and other kinds of pottery, from early oriental down to modern terracotta. Putting off a guinea, you may draw him in a lottery. Such an opportunity may not occur again.
We mean throw low the will, aware that we don't care, that we don't care. There's fish in the sea, no doubt of it, as good as ever came out of it. And someday we shall get our share. So we don't care, so we don't care.
And are you going, a ticket for to buy.
Most certainly I am. Why shouldn't I?
Oh, fortune, this is hard. Blindfold your eyes. 2 minutes will decide who wins the prize.
Oh, fortune, to my aching heart be kind. Like us, thou art blindfolded, but not blind. Just raise your bandage thus, that you may see, and give the prize, and give the prize to me.
Come, Lady Jane, I pray you draw the first.
He loves me best.
I want to know the worst.
Hold, stay your hand.
What means this interference of this old girl? I pray you make a clearance.
Away with you, and to your milk pails go.
She wants a ticket. Take a dozen.
If there be pardon in your breast for this poor penitent, in remorseful thought oppressed, sincerely doth repent. If you with one so lowly still desire to be allied, then you may take me if you will, for I will be your bride.
Oh, shameless one, oh, Lord, yes, and away, take away, shameless one will always be.
How strong is love for many a week. She's loved me fondly and has feared to speak. But nature, for restraint too mighty far, has burst the bonds of heart. And here we are.
No, Mr. Bumper, no, you're wrong again. Permit me, I'll endeavor to explain. True, I'm a single-hearted being.
Exactly so.
From every selfish fancy free.
Exactly so.
No idle thought of gain or joy a maiden's fancy should employ. True love must be without alloy. True love must be without alloy.
Exactly so.
Imposture to contempt must lead.
Exactly so.
Blind vanity's dissension seed.
Exactly so.
It follows then a maiden who devotes herself to loving you is prompted by no selfish view. Is prompted by no selfish view.
Exactly so.
Are you resolved to wed this shameless one? Is there no chance for
hearted troubadour, whose mind's aesthetic and whose tastes are pure.
Aesthetic. He is aesthetic.
Yes, yes, I am aesthetic and poetic.
We love you.
They love him, horror.
They love him, horror. They love me, horror, horror, horror.
Now, I don't know if you are superstitious, but I guess either Gilbert the author or Sullivan, the composer of these delightful comic operas, must have been a little superstitious at least. Why do I say that? Because I noticed they wrote 3 operas in succession, all of which have titles beginning with the letter P. Pirates of Penzance, Pinafore, and Patience. Looks as if the letter P was a lucky letter. And in their next opera, Iolanthe, that was originally going to be called Parola. Now, they changed that title, but later on, again, they wrote Princess Ida. Well, personally, I think it was their amazing combination of talents and not any lucky letter of the alphabet that made the collaboration of Gilbert and Sullivan one of the biggest success stories in the entire theater history. When Patience became a hit in London, naturally the producer, Richard D'Oyley Carte, wanted to put it on in the States. But as he feared when the show opened in New York, business was not all that good. Very few Americans knew about the English craze for the aesthetic, and so they didn't really understand what the show was all about. So then D'Oyley Carte made a bold move. He went straight to Oscar Wilde, the high priest of the aesthetic movement. And after a little difficulty, he persuaded him to undertake a lecture tour in America. It was a wow. Wilde lectured all over, to society in New York, to miners in Denver, Colorado, you name it. He dressed exactly like the poet Bunthorne in Patience and carried the famous drooping flower. The Americans may have laughed at it, but they really loved it. The craze caught on. Carte wrote to Sullivan, inscrutable are the ways of the American public, and absurd as it may appear, it seems that Oscar Wilde's advent here, which has caused a regular craze, has given the business a fillip up. But let us get back to our lovesick ladies. I think we're going to find that Lady Jane has a problem we all know about. Well, just between you and me, well, she's been putting on a little weight.
crew have deserted Reginald and sworn allegiance to his rival, and all, forsooth, because he has glanced with passing favour on a puling milkmaid. Fools. Of that fancy he will soon weary, and then I, who alone am faithful to him, shall reap my reward. But do not dally too long, Reginald, for my charms are ripe, Reginald, and already they are decaying. Better secure me, ere I have gone too far. Sad is that woman's lot who year by year sees one by one her beauties disappear. When time, grown weary of her heart-drawn sighs, impatiently begins to dim her eyes.
How rapturously these maidens love me, and how hopelessly. Oh, patience, patience, with the love of thee in my heart, what have I for these poor mad maidens but an unvalued pity? Alas, they will die of hopeless love for me, as I shall die of hopeless love for thee.
Sir, will it please you read to us?
Yes, child, if you will. What shall I read?
One of your own poems.
One of my own poems. Better not, my child. They will not cure thee of thy love.
Mr. Bunthorne used to read a poem of his own every day.
And to do him justice, he read them extremely well.
Oh, did he, sir? Well, who am I to withhold my gifts from you? What am I but a trustee? Here is a decollect. A pure and simple thing, a very daisy, a babe might understand it. To appreciate it, it is necessary to think of nothing at all.
Let us think of nothing at all.
Gentle Jane was as good as gold. She always did as she was told. She never spoke when her mouth was full, or caught blue bottles their legs to pull, or spilt plum jam on her nice new frock, or put white mice in the 8-day clock, or vivisected her last new doll, or fostered a passion for alcohol. And when she grew up, she was given in marriage to a first-class earl who keeps his carriage. I believe I am right in saying that there is not one word in that decollect which is calculated to bring the blush of shame to the cheek of modesty.
Not one. It is purity itself.
Here's another. Teasing Tom was a very bad boy. A great big squirt was his favorite toy. He put live shrimps in his father's boots and sewed up sleeves of his Sunday suits. He punched his poor little sisters' heads and cayenne-peppered their four-post beds. He plastered their hair with cobbler's wax and dropped hot halfpennies down their backs. The consequence was he was lost totally and married a girl in the Corps de Ballet.
Marked you how grandly, how relentlessly the damning catalogue of crimes strode on, till retribution, like a poisoned hawk, came swooping down upon the wrongdoer. Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, sir, you are indeed a true poet, for you touch our hearts and they go out to you.
This is simply cloying. Ladies, I am sorry to appear ungallant, but this is Saturday, and you have been following me about ever since Monday. I should like the usual half-holiday. I shall take it as a personal favor if you will kindly allow me to close early today.
Oh, sir! Do not send us from you.
Poor girls. It is best to speak plainly. I know that I am loved by you, but I never can love you in return, for my heart is fixed elsewhere. Remember the fable of the magnet and the churn.
But we don't know the fable of the magnet and the churn.
Don't you?
No!
Then I will sing it to you. A magnet hung in a hardware shop, and all around was a loving crop of scissors and needles, nails and knives, offering love for all their lives. But for I and the magnet felt no whim. Though he charmed I, and it charmed not him. From needles and nails and knives he'd turn, for he'd set his love on a silver churn.
A silver churn.
A silver churn. His most aesthetic, very magnetic fancy took his turn. If I can wheedle a knife or a needle, why not a silver churn?
His most aesthetic, very magnetic fancy took his turn. If I can wheedle a knife or a needle, why not a silver churn?
And iron and steel expressed surprise. The needles opened their well-drilled eyes. The penknives felt shut up, no doubt. The scissors declared themselves cut out. The kettles they boiled with rage, 'tis said, while every nail went off its head, and hither and thither began to roam, till a hammer came up and drove them home.
It drove them home.
this magnetic, peripatetic lover he lived to learn. By no endeavor can magnet ever attract a silver churn.
By this magnetic, peripatetic lover he lived to learn. By no endeavor can magnet ever attract a silver churn.
What is this mysterious fascination I seem to exercise over all I come across? A curse on my fatal beauty, for I am sick of conquests.
Archibald? Patience! I have escaped with difficulty from my Reginald. I wanted to see you so much that I might ask you if you still love me as fondly as ever.
Love you, if the devotion of a lifetime.
Hold! Unhand me or I scream. If you are a gentleman, pray remember that I am another's. But you do love me, don't you?
Madly, hopelessly, despairingly.
That's right. I never can be yours, but that's right.
And you love this Bunthorne?
With a heart-whole ecstasy that withers and scorches and burns and stings, it is my duty.
Admirable girl. But you're not happy with him.
Happy? I am miserable beyond description.
That's right. I never can be yours, but that's right.
But go now. I see dear Reginald approaching. Farewell, Archibald. I cannot tell you how happy it has made me to know that you still love me.
Oh, if I only dared.
Sir! This language to one who is promised to another. Oh, Archibald, think of me sometimes, for my heart is breaking. He is so unkind to me, and you would be so loving.
Loving?
Advance one step, and as I am a good and pure woman, I scream. Farewell, Archibald. Stop there. Think of me sometimes. Advance at your peril. Once more.
So sorrowful as they, who can only sigh and say,
Crying, eh? What are you crying about?
I've only been thinking how dearly I love you.
Love me? Bah!
Love him? Bah!
Don't you interfere!
He always crushes me.
What is the matter, dear Reginald? If you have any sorrow, tell it to me that I may share it with you. It is my duty.
Whom were you talking with just now?
With dear Archibald.
With dear Archibald. Upon my honor, this is too much.
A great deal too much.
Do be quiet!
Crushed again.
I think he's the noblest, purest, and most perfect being I have ever met. But I don't love him. It is true that he is devotedly attached to me, but indeed I don't love him. Whenever he grows affectionate, I scream. It is my duty.
I dare say.
So do I. I dare say.
Why? How could I love him and love you too? You can't love two people at once.
Oh, can't you, though?
No, you can't. I only wish you could.
I don't believe you know what love is.
Yes, I do. There was a happy time when I didn't. But a bitter experience has taught me. Love is a plaintive song, sung by a suffering maid, telling a tale of wrong, telling of hope betrayed, tuned to its changing note, sorry when he is sad, blind to his every mote, merry when he is glad, merry when he is glad.
Everything has gone wrong with me since that smug-faced idiot Grosvenor came here. Before that, I was admired. I may say loved.
Too mild. Adored.
Do let a poet soliloquize. The damoiselles used to follow me wherever I went. Now they all follow him.
Not all. I am still faithful to you.
Yes, and a pretty damoiselle you are.
No, not pretty. Massive. Cheer up. I will never leave you, I swear it.
Oh, thank you. I know what it is. It's his confounded mildness. They find me too highly spiced, if you please. And no doubt I am highly spiced.
Not for my taste.
No, but I am for theirs. But I'll show the world I can be as mild as he. If they want insipidity, they shall have it. I'll meet this own ground and beat him on it.
You shall, and I will help you.
You will? Jane, there's a good deal of good in you after all.
So go to him and say to him with compliment ironical.
Sing hey to you, good day to you, and that's what I shall say.
Your style is much too sanctified, your cut is too canonical.
Sing bar to you, ha ha to you, and that's what I shall say.
I was the beau ideal of the morbid young aesthetical. To doubt my inspiration was regarded as heretical until you cut me out with your placidity.
Sing boo to you, poo-poo to you, and that's what I shall say. Sing boo to you, poo-poo to you, and that's what I shall say.
Sing hey to you, good day to you,
good
sing
day.
bar to you, ha ha to you, sing boo to you, poo-poo to you, and that's what you should say. Sing hey to you, good day to you, sing bar to you, ha ha to you, sing
Bar,
to you,
and that's what I shall say. Boo, boo, and that's what I shall say. Bar, bar, and that's what I shall say. I'll tell him that unless he will consent to be more jocular,
sing boo to you, poo-poo to you, and that's what you should say.
to cut his curly hair and stick an eyeglass in his ocular,
Sing bar to you, ha ha to you, and that's what you should say.
To stuff his conversation full of quibble and of quiddity, to dine on chops and roly-poly pudding with avidity, he'd better clear away with all convenient rapidity.
Sing hey to you, good day to you, and that's what you should say.
Sing boo to you, poo-poo to you,
and that's what I shall say.
Sing hey to you, good day to you, sing
day.
bar to you, ha ha to you, sing boo to you, poo-poo to you, and that's what you should say. Sing hey to you, good day to you, sing bar to you, ha ha to you, sing
bar, and that's what I shall say. Boo, boo,
and
that's what I shall say. Ba, ba, and that's what I shall say.
Tell him that unless he will consent to be more jocular,
Sing boo to you, poo-poo to you, and that's what you should say.
to cut his curly hair and stick an eyeglass in his ocular,
Sing bar to you, ha ha to you, and that's what you should say.
To stuff his conversation full of quibble and of quiddity, to dine on chops and roly-poly pudding with avidity, he'd better clear away with all convenient rapidity.
Sing hey to you, good day to you, and that's what you should say.
Sing boo to you, poo-poo to you,
and that's what I shall say.
Sing hey to you, good day to you, sing
Good day.
bar to you, ha ha to you, sing boo to you, poo-poo to you, and that's what you should say. Sing hey to you, good day to you, sing bar to you, ha ha to you, sing
bar,
to you,
and that's what I shall say. Boo, boo, and that's what I shall say. Bar, bar, and that's what I shall say. It's clear that mending evil art alone retains its zest. To charm and please its devotees, we've done our little best. We're not quite sure if all we do has the early English ring, but as far as we can judge, it's something like this sort of thing. You hold yourself like this. You hold yourself like that. By hook and crook, you try to look both angular and flat. We venture to expect that what we recollect, though but a part of true high art, will have its due effect. If this is not exactly right, we hope you won't upbraid. You can't get high aesthetic taste like trousers ready-made. True views on medievalism time alone will bring. But as far as we can judge, it's something like this sort of thing. You hold yourself like this. You hold yourself like that. By hook and crook, you try to look both angular and that. To cultivate the trim rigidity of limb, you ought to get a clarionet and pour your style on him. Yes, it's quite clear that the only chance of making a lasting impression on these young ladies is to become as aesthetic as they are.
No doubt. The only question is how far we've succeeded in doing so. I don't know why, but I've an idea this is not quite right.
Well, I don't like it. Oh, I never did. I don't see what it means. I do it, but I don't like it.
My good friend, the question is not whether we like it, but whether they do. They understand these things. We don't. Now, I shouldn't be surprised if this is effective enough. Well, at a distance.
I can't help feeling we're a little stiff at it. It could be extremely awkward if we were to be struck so.
I don't think we should be struck so. Perhaps we're a little awkward at first. Oh, but everything must have a beginning. Oh, here they come. Attention!
Oh, Saphir, see! The immortal fire has descended on them, and they are of the inner brotherhood, perceptibly intense and consummately utter.
How Botticellian, how Fra Angelicum. O art, we thank thee for this boon.
I'm afraid we're not quite right.
Not supremely, perhaps, but oh, so all but. Oh, Saphir, are they not quite too all but?
They are indeed jolly utter.
I wonder what the inner brotherhood usually recommends for cramp.
Ladies, we will not deceive you. We are doing this at some personal inconvenience, with a view of expressing the extremity of our devotion to you. We trust that it is not without its effect.
We will not deny that we are much moved by this proof of your attachment.
Yes, your conversion to the principles of aesthetic art in its highest development has touched us deeply.
And if Mr. Grosvenor should remain obdurate...
which we have every reason to believe he will.
I wish they'd make haste.
We are not prepared to say that our yearning hearts will not go out to you.
By sections of threes, Raptor!
It's extremely good. For beginners, it's admirable.
The only question is, who will take who?
Oh, the Duke chooses first as a matter of course.
I couldn't think of it. You really are too good.
Nothing of the kind. You are the great matrimonial fish, and it's only fair that each of these ladies should have a chance of hooking you. It's perfectly simple. Observe. Suppose you choose Angela, I choose Saphir, the Major takes nobody. Suppose you choose Saphir, the Major takes Angela, I take nobody. Suppose you choose neither, I take Angela, the Major takes Saphir. Clear as day.
If Saphir I choose, marry, I shall be fixed up for life. Then the colonel need not tarry, Angela can be his wife.
In that case, unprecedented single, I shall live and die. I shall have to be contented with their heartfelt sympathy.
He will have to be contented with their heartfelt sympathy.
In that case, unprecedented single, he will live and die. He will have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy.
He will have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy. He will have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy.
If on Angie I determine at my wedding she'll appear decked in diamond and ermine, Major then can take Sophia.
In that case, unprecedented single, I shall live and die. I shall have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy.
He will have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy.
In the case of unprecedented single, I shall live and die. I shall have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy. I shall have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy. I shall have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy.
After some debate internal, if on neither I decide, Sapphire then may take the colonel, and she be the major's bride. In that case, unprecedented single, I must live and die. I shall have to be contented with their heartfelt sympathy.
He will have to be contented with their heartfelt sympathy.
In that case, unprecedented single, he will live and die. He will have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy. He will have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy. He will have to be contented with the heartfelt sympathy.
It is very pleasant to be alone. It is pleasant to be able to gaze at leisure upon those features which all others may gaze upon at their goodwill. Ah, I am a very Narcissus.
It's no use. I can't live without admiration. Ever since Grosvenor came here, insipidity has been at a premium. He's there.
Bunthorne, come here. Look. Very graceful, isn't it?
Allow me, I haven't seen it.
Oh, yes, it is graceful.
Oh, good gracious, not that. This.
You don't mean that? Oh, bah! I'm in no mood for trifling.
And what is amiss?
Ever since you came here, you have entirely monopolized the attentions of the young ladies. I don't like it, sir.
My dear sir, how can I help it? They're the plague of my life. My dear Mr. Bunthorne, with your personal disadvantages, you can have no idea of the inconvenience of being madly loved at first sight by every woman you meet.
Sir, until you came here, I was adored.
Exactly, until I came here. That's my grievance. I cut everybody out. I assure you, if you could only suggest some means whereby, consistently with my duty to society, I could escape these inconvenient attentions, you would earn my everlasting gratitude.
I will do so at once. However popular it may be with the world at large, your personal appearance is highly objectionable to me.
It is? Oh, thank you, thank you. How can I express my gratitude?
By making a complete change at once. Your conversation must henceforth be perfectly matter-of-fact. You must cut your hair and have a back parting. In appearance and costume, you must be absolutely commonplace.
No. Pardon me, that's impossible.
Take care. When I am thwarted, I am very terrible.
I can't help that. I am a man with a mission, and that mission must be fulfilled.
I don't think you quite appreciate the consequences of thwarting me.
I don't care what they are.
Suppose, I won't go so far as to say that I would do it, but suppose for one moment I were to curse you. Ah, very well.
Take care.
But surely you would never do that.
I don't know. It would be an extreme measure, no doubt. Still,
But you would not do it. I am sure you would not. Oh, reflect. Reflect. You had a mother once.
Never.
Then you had an aunt. Oh. Ah, I see you had. By the memory of that aunt, I implore you to pause, ere you resort to this last fearful expedient. Oh, Mr. Barthorne, reflect, reflect.
I must not allow myself to be unmanned. It is useless. Consent at once, or may a nephew's curse.
Hold! Are you absolutely resolved?
Absolutely.
Will nothing shake you?
Nothing, I am adamant.
Very good. Then I yield.
You what?
I yield.
You swear it?
I do, cheerfully. I have long wished for a reasonable pretext for such a change as you suggest. It has come at last. I do it on compulsion.
Victory! I triumph! When I go out at dawn, of damoiselles a score, all sighing and burning and clinging and yearning will follow me as before. I shall with cultured taste distinguish gems from paste, and hide diddle will rank as a niddle if I pronounce it chaste.
A most intense young man, a soulful-eyed young man, an auto-poetical, super-aesthetical, out-of-the-way young man. Conceive me if you can, an everyday young man, a commonplace type with a sick and a pipe and a half-bred black and tan, who thinks of urban hops, more fun than Monday pops, who's fond of his dinner and doesn't get thinner on bottled beer and chops. A commonplace young man, a matter-of-fact young man, a steady and solid, jolly bank holiday, everyday young man.
A Japanese young man, a blue and white young man, Francesca de Rimini, Mimini, Pimini, je ne sais quoi young man.
A Chancery Lane young man, a Somerset House young man, a very delectable, highly respectable threepenny bus young man.
A pallid and thin young man, a haggard and lank young man, a greenery ellery, grove in a gallery, foot in the grave young man.
A Sewell and Cross young man, a Howell and James young man, a pushing young particle, Wassenix article, Waterloo House young man. Conceive me if you can, a matter-of-fact young man, an auto-poetical, air-aesthetical, out-of-the-way young man.
Conceive me if you can,
a matter-of-fact young man, an auto-poetical, air-aesthetical, everyday young man.
It is all right. I have committed my last act of ill nature, and henceforth I'm a changed character. La, 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 la,
Reginald, dancing? What in the world is the matter with you?
Patience, I'm a changed man. Hitherto I've been gloomy, moody, fitful, uncertain in temper, and selfish in disposition.
You have indeed.
All that is changed. I have reformed. I have modelled myself upon Mr. Grosvenor, and henceforth I'm mildly cheerful. My conversation will blend amusement with instruction. I shall still be aesthetic, but my aestheticism will be of the most pastoral kind.
Reginald, is all this true?
Quite true. Observe how amiable I am.
But Reginald, how long will this last?
With occasional intervals for rest and refreshment, as long as I do.
Oh, Reginald, I'm so happy. It will no longer be a duty to love you, but a pleasure, a rapture, an ecstasy.
Oh, my darling.
But oh, horror.
What's the matter?
Is it quite certain that you have absolutely reformed, that henceforth you are a perfect being, utterly free from defect of any kind?
Quite certain. I've sworn it.
Then I never can be yours.
Why not?
Love to be pure must be absolutely unselfish, and there can be nothing unselfish in loving so perfect a being as you have now become.
But stop a bit.
Oh.
I don't want to change. I'll relapse. I'll be as I was. Oh, interrupt it.
I'm a Waterloo House young man, a Sewell and Cross young man, a steady and stolidly jolly bank holiday everyday young man.
Swells and wells and girls, the man of the weeds and girls, we're prettily buttering, cheerily chattering everyday young girls.
Angela, Ella, Sophia, what
What does this mean?
It means that Archibald the all-right cannot be all wrong. And if the all-right chooses to discard aestheticism, it proves aestheticism ought to be discarded.
Archibald, I'm shocked, surprised, horrified.
Well, I can't help it. I'm not a free agent. I do it on compulsion.
This is terrible. Go. I shall never set eyes on you again. But oh, Joy.
What's the matter?
Is it quite certain that you will always be a commonplace young man?
Always. I've sworn it, haven't I?
Why then, there's nothing to prevent my loving you with all the fervour at my command.
Why, that's true.
My Archibald!
My patient. Crushed again!
Cheer up! I am still here. I have never left you, and I never will.
Oh, thank you, Jane. After all, there's no denying it. You're a fine figure of a woman.
My Reginald.
My Jane.
Ladies, the Duke has at length determined to select a bride.
I have a great gift to bestow. Approach such of you as are truly lovely. In personal appearance, you have all that is necessary to make a woman happy. In common fairness, I think I ought to choose the only one among you who has the misfortune to be distinctly plain.
Oh.
Jane?
Duke!
Crushed again!
After much debate internal, I on Lady Jane decide. Sapphire now may take the colonel, Angie be the major's bride.
In that case unprecedented, single I must live and die. I shall have to be contented with a tulip only lie.
He will have to be contented with a tulip only lie. In the case of unprecedented single, he must live and die. He will have to be contented with the tulip only lie. Great and with one another to get married.